Hi, Dr. Bala here. You're welcome to Inspiration with Dr. Bala. Today, I'm excited to be back again to inspire you, to talk to you. Today, we're going to be talking about, one of the explanation about the existence of God, one of the best of what I've seen, and that really inspired me. So, we're going to be talking about something medical, scientific today, but it really gave the explanation about the existence of God, especially with different worldviews. So, wherever you are, you are joining me. I want to welcome you to Inspiration with Dr. Bala today as we talk about the existence of God and looking at this inspirational explanation from medical science. We'll be back. Hey, welcome, Dr. Bala here. Welcome and excited to be with you today. So, yeah, today on Inspiration with Dr. Bala, I'm gonna be bringing you a story. You really inspire me, and as um, a doctor and a student of intercultural study, I have heard so many different views about the existence of God. And of course, the different world views, the way we actually look at uh, who God is, whether God exists or not, it contributes a lot to the way we live our life, the way we do things, the way we behave. So a lot of things that are happening around the world, the way we react to things, the way we respond to things, is kind of it's actually based on our worldview. And so the reason why you have Christians, you have Muslims, you have Buddhists, you have Hindus, and they all look at things differently. And so even though many of us do agree that we all believe in God, but our worldviews really matter. That is the way we look at the existence of God, the way we look at life, where does life begins and where the life ends. And so there are many people who have complete different concept about when life begins. There are a lot of people who also have completely different concept as to when life ends. And so when life begins and when life ends really play a key role in our when it comes to our worldview, how we look at things and how we do live our life. Okay, let me make this clear. First of all, as a Christian, I do believe that there is a life after death, and I believe life even begins way beyond the formation in the womb. So there are people who believe that hey, life begins in fact at birth. When I was born, that when my life begins, and my life ends when I die. There are also other people who believe that hey, life actually began in the womb. When my mother conceived me, that one's life begins. And so uh, they look at life, when life ends in a complete different way, right? Maybe the day they die, or something else. And so there are also people who believe, well, yeah, life begins in the womb and when my mother conceived me, but I believe there is life after death. Life doesn't end after death. And so there are all these different, worldview about life. And I can tell you that you may kind of be asking, well, what does that really mean to me? It doesn't matter whether I believe life begins at birth, and or whether I believe life begins in the womb. It doesn't really matter. Oh no, it matters, because that really contributes to your worldview. It contributes to how you live. It contributes to how you look at the world and what you believe. So I'm blessed to have interacted with people from complete different worldviews, from different cultural background. And I think going to school, learning intercultural studies have really helped me, because the last almost 10 years of my life, I haven't been living my own culture completely. I have interacted with people from different, religious worldview, from different cultural worldview, by the way. And, looking at, people based on their worldview really, really help you to coexist, kind of, help you to relate to them in a complete different way, right? And so there are people who believe that there is no God. There are people who believe that there is God. And all of that comes again to one of the big questions I want to talk about today: when life begins and when life ends. And there are so many explanations about when life begins and when life ends. There's just so many, but this one really inspired me, and I want to share with you today. And I think for me as a Christian, it really gave the picture as to the existence of God, because I've listened to many people try to explain the existence of God. Someone said, well, I've seen a miracle. I've seen a crippled man walk. No one can do that. That must be a God. Someone said, well, you go to sleep and wake up in the morning. That's a miracle. That must be a God. Someone said, well, when you look in the sky, right, you see, nature explain that there is God. But so there are a lot of things people use to explain about the existence of God, that there should be a creator somewhere. But this one, as a doctor, as a student of science, really, really inspired me. And I thought, on inspiration with Dr. Bala today, I should be giving you a tip of what this story, really inspired me about. Before I do that, I want to show you a very short video about, the process in the womb when, the baby is conceived, the entire process during gestation, how the baby develop, how the baby feel. And in that mother womb, there's a whole time of life going on there. And so shut there, let me show you the video and we'll be back.
Your little one knows the sound of your voice at week 25. She can recognize other familiar sounds too when she's not sleeping. She snoozes 80% of the time now. By next week, she knows how to suck, and she'll probably try that skill out on her thumb. At the end of your second trimester on week 27, your little one is the length of an English cucumber, over 14 inches long, and all that moving around is paying off, giving her more and more muscle tone.
That was just a very short video to give you a picture.
So your brand needs some digital marketing. Go to Fiverr. Get landing pages and social promotions. Done.
That was just a short story. Sorry for the interruption. That was just a short video about, the baby in the womb, growing up, connected to the placenta, living normal life and everything there. So I saw this story. Have you imagined if you think that, if you're one of those who also believe, or you have been struggling with the question of when life begins and when life ends, whether you believe that life begins at birth and end at death, or life begins in the womb and end at death, whatever concept you believe. But I want to bring this picture around here and to, share the inspiration that I got from that. And so the two babies in the womb growing up, and of course they having a whole cycle of life there, right? And how to feed, they connected to the placenta, and getting all their nutritional value from their mom. And life is a whole complete different picture in that womb. They cannot tell, because if you ask me, I cannot explain when I was a baby in my mother's womb. I can't explain the process of life there. I had no idea probably about what life is like after delivery. So now I can picture how life was like there, but I cannot go back into my mother's womb and kind of like picture life, explain about life here after delivery. But when you look at that, you can think about the baby in that during that stage of life. There's a whole complete cycle of life, and that's just what exists there, right? And two, I read this and it really inspired me, and I thought it has a really great explanation and a great inspiration. Two babies in the womb, in the mother's womb, and one asks the other, "Do you believe that there is life after delivery?" Probably like some of the question we ask each other nowadays. Do you believe there is life after death? Do you believe there is life after death? And these two babies, one asks, the other, "Do you think there is life after delivery? When we born like we here?" And the other baby replied, "Mm, maybe, maybe not. Um, After delivery, maybe there could be a whole different picture there. I don't know how life is after delivery, but I kind of want to picture that we are just here for preparation. We are here to be prepared to face life you know after this whole cycle." And the one that asked the question said, "Nonsense. How possible is that? you know I don't think there is any life after delivery. What kind of life would that be? Come on, you see here, we get all our food through the placenta, and we are just around here. We don't walk, we don't sit, we don't do anything. We got all our food. So how possible would there be another life after delivery?" And the second baby went on to answer again, "I don't know. I don't really know what kind of life would that be, but there would just be more light probably after delivery. That would probably we will be able to walk. Maybe we will be able to stand on our legs. Maybe we will be able to eat through our mouth. Maybe we will have much more other senses that we can use and understand a lot of things." And the first people like, "That doesn't sound any logical. Walking going to be impossible. See, we see our structure. We just here. We are wrapped in here, and this is it. This is life. He talking about walking. I don't think it's possible that we're going to be able to walk. And you're talking about eating food through our mouth. I don't think the placenta. We connected. This is placenta. We got our food through. We talking about eating food through our mouth. That doesn't sound any logical. That doesn't make any sense. I think the umbilical cord supply all our nutrition here, and everything that we need is just here. So let's forget about life after delivery." And but this second baby insisted that, "Well, I think there is something, and maybe really different than what we see here. Maybe we need a physical cord more than this placenta, more than this umbilical cord we're using, to feed and get all our nutrients. Maybe we need a physical cord more than what we have here." And the first baby said, "That's just nonsense. You physical cord? You're talking about eating through your mouth and walking, and now you're talking about having physical cord? That is not even possible. I don't think so. Moreover, if there is life after delivery, What no one has come from there to come back here, to tell us about the life there. Well, no one has come back here. Delivery is the end of life. And after delivery, there is nothing but there's going to be darkness and silence, and nothing else exists there. That's just the end of our life. And so the moment we are delivered out there is a complete darkness. That's just the end of life. We forget everything here and it's forgotten. That's all. Well, the first baby said no. The second baby said no, I don't think so. Maybe certainly we will meet mother and she will take care of us. First people were like, mother? Do you believe that there is mother? You actually believe in mother? That's laughable. If mother really exists, then where is she now? Why can we feel her? Why can we know? If mother really exists, then we should know. And the second baby said, she is all around us. We are surrounded by her. We are of her. It is because of her that we are living. Without her, this world will not even exist. We will not have this world in here, that we're talking about. So there is mother. If you can just listen carefully and just be quiet, probably you will hear mother speaking, wrapping her hands around us from above. And that's what struck me so much. It brings us to the place where, I think we live in this world. And when we think about the life we have here, many of us, they get started by saying, many of us believe, well, life begins whether at birth or in the womb and it ends at death. We argue that after death, there's nothing. That's darkness. After death, there is no other life. After death, it's not possible to, be thinking about heaven or hell. There is no other life after death. After death, it's just going to be like the way we go to sleep and we get up the next morning. And after death, that's just the end. That's just everything. Probably we are thinking like these babies in the mother's womb. I believe that there's no other life after death. But, well, we may ask the same question. If there is actually life after death, why no one has come back from there to tell us? If there is actually God, that the whole world is in his hands, if there is actually God that is all around us, that we make reference to nature and all those different things, why can we feel him? Why can we see him? We are here, imagining that there's going to be a God after death to take care of us. Do you really believe that? That's laughable. But I think the existence of God and the existence of life after death, it's true. We may probably not be able to fathom it. We may not be able to figure it out. But I think there is more than what we know in our life now. So when I was looking at this, I read Jeremiah chapter 1, verse 5. In Jeremiah chapter 1, verse 5, the Bible says, before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. And before you were born, I consecrated you. I appointed you a prophet to the nations. God speaking to Jeremiah. But the part I want to bring in this, story that inspired me is that God says to to Jeremiah, that before you were formed in the womb, I knew you. And so I even believe that there is life before the womb, before life in the womb. And I definitely believe that there is life after, delivery. There is life after death. You may not be able to explain that because we're living now, and you may ask the same questions like those babies in the womb. If there is life after death, why no one has come to show us, to tell us how is life there? If there is God, we may be like this baby in the womb thinking, where is God? What can we feed him? What can we know that he really do exist? But yes, there is life after death. And that what inspired me this week. So as I come to talk to you on Inspiration with Dr. Bala, I want us to think beyond, you know, the life we live now. I want us to think beyond, what we see. I want us to think beyond just, what we know now. It's easy to kind of like, you know, with all the world views, with all the science we know, with all the different philosophy, with all the different, knowledge and everything. This is just what women know. But like these babies, there is more there. Yes, there is life after delivery. So bringing in our picture, there is a bigger picture than we know. There is a bigger hands than we know. There is a bigger voice that we have never heard. But if we keep silent and listening, he's speaking to us above. He's wrapping us like the mother speaking to the babies in the womb. Yes. And I think there are many other explanations about the existence of God, but this really inspired me and struck me that there is God and there is life after this. God bless you. And I hope that this inspire you, that you will think beyond this life. You will think beyond the picture that you just have here, and you're going to live your life a complete different one. Yes, just imagine, life in the womb when you can, figure out what is life after delivery. Bring that picture. Now you are living. Can you figure out life after death? And then all the other different pictures will come in. Maybe probably the salvation message and a different preaching about, living alive and connecting with Jesus will make sense if you kind of picture life in that perspective. Well, I said to someone said to me, all these believe in God and everything. What if we all died and get to the place? It was a prank, just, a system to control us, live, a better life, be controlled. And when we die, we find out there is no hell, there is no heaven. What if it's just a prank? It's just a control system. And I said, I actually will have nothing to lose if I died and find out that there is no heaven, there is no hell, and there is no God. Living the life that I live now with, the mind that there is life after this life, it kind of put me in check, kind of make me be the kind of person, if there is, a life after here, kind of make me the kind of person I'm supposed to be now. And of course, even now, a better person. I have nothing to lose. But if I die and find out there is heaven, there is hell, with the mind that this is a prank, it's going to be a complete different thing. And I want to encourage you to not just live your life just anyhow arguing that one of the babies, that there is no life after death. Why? If it does. You're wondering, there is no life after delivery of this baby. What if it does? So I just came to inspire you today and motivate you. There's a lot happening in the world. There's a lot shaking around and shaking us around. But it's time to sit and reflect and look at what is happening and look at your life now and put it back in shape if it is not. Or if it's in, put it back in shape with Jesus. Because it may not just be the short range you see here. It may not just be what you see here. It's more than that. And I think this story of these babies in the womb is one of the best explanation about the existence of God. If you can just imagine babies in the womb arguing and thinking about life after delivery. And here you are. Very difficult world to face if you're not prepared. in the womb, if you came out with different mind. And I think God doesn't want us to die with that wrong mindset. And so I want to say God bless you, and I hope that you can meditate on this inspiration and know that there is something more than just this life, and you can be able to put your life back in shape and do a lot. Thank you for joining me today, and I hope to be back next time on another inspiration with Dr. Bala. God bless you.